goosebumps every time, yeah, 713. Through the 281, yeah, I'm riding. Why they on me? Why they on me? I'm flying, sipping low-key. I'm sipping low-key and hiding. I get those goosebumps
Newcastle United.
Come around, you ease my mind. You make everything feel fine. Worry about those comments. I'm way too numb, yeah. It's way too dumb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time. I need the high, throw that to the side. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. When you're not around me, throw that to the side. I get those goosebumps every time.
Hello and welcome to Loaded Bag NUFC. And we're back in business, baby. Get in. Back with a win. Welcome. This is the reaction show to Newcastle versus Spurs in the League Cup and also the live draw. So welcome one and all. Do those all those good things like hitting that like button. In this show I'm going to find out what a hype button is as well, boys, because I want to hear what that actually is. I have no idea what it is. But Chris, how are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Obviously delighted to progress this evening. Delighted with a clean sheet, and more importantly, boys, and I'm interested to get your thoughts on this. Delighted with how we just handled tonight. Just handled it. Do you know what? That was probably one of the most calmest 90 minutes I've had all season. It was a weird feeling, and despite us missing a few big hitters, as we know, and I'm sure we'll get into the lineup and stuff. But yeah, a comprehensive victory, and looking forward to the round, hoping for a home draw. And all I'll say is, as long as we can avoid Arsenal, you've got to fancy our chances. You really, really have. But yeah, I'm really, really pleased, mate. Great to be back in a quarter-final yet again. And one of my noisy neighbours didn't have such a great night tonight. So all the better. All the better. But Pete, how are you, mate? You good?
Get the fuck in there. Get in. Massive result tonight. Great stuff. First and foremost, great to see you, Daz, back. Welcome back. Welcome back home, fella. I know it's been a while, but no, great to have you back, mate. And yes, a very comfortable night at the office for Newcastle United. A very professional performance. I loved so much about that game and our performance. And very excited. I wasn't sure if it was a quarterfinals or not. I wasn't sure if it was like another round. I think we spoke about it the other night, Chris. But it is the quarterfinals. We are back there again. Yes, Tino has asked the question about many people messaged me, where is Deji after Monday night's comments? Deji's gone missing.
He went in deep.
He is hiding somewhere. I have sent my little Tom Hanks emoji. Hello Deji, and received tumbleweed in response. But hey, that just means one thing, that the glasses are on, boys. Into the next round, win secured, and back in business. And as Sophie's just said, Deji, hold that. Yes. Daz, how are you, fella? How's things?
Oh, boys, it's been way too long. The break I took due to Wi-Fi internet issues here, I thought it would take 2 weeks. It actually took a month to get resolved. But look, it's fixed now, and I have the proper fiber good broadband going forward. Touch wood. But look at you've been just smashing it out of the park on the shows. I was saying to Chris before pre-show, I didn't get to see many of them, but I got to listen to them in the car. After I got to upload them, I got to hear some of them on the drive into work or whatever. But no, great to be back. Let's get into it, boys, because let's talk a bit about the game. But Pete, you stopped me along the way. You were the man of the eyes on the draw, I think, tonight. So stop me when we get to that draw stage, but we'll see what we have along the way. This was the lineup for Newcastle. So, yes, at home with multiple changes, 8 changes in total. And this was the Spurs side that took to the field as well. So what are you making of the selection, boys?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't do an away days, did we, Pete, for this game? And I think, yeah, I think it would have been a miracle if we'd have got this starting 11 correct. It would have been a miracle. But I think Eddie Howe made some bold changes. This is squad rotation in full flow, and I think that's why I'm so pleased with the result, boys. I'm so pleased with the results because we've made so many changes, invested so many big names, so many big players for us this season. And yeah, you know how we've performed, and most importantly, got ourselves through to the next round with yet another clean sheet. It's just brilliant. But yeah, when the lineup came out, Dad, I'll be honest, I was just, I was intrigued, I was excited, and the reason being was because it was a massive opportunity for a number of players tonight, and a number of those players did not disappoint either. So yeah, I was pleased with the lineup. You know, obviously it was good to see Bruno getting a rest. I wanted to see Ramsey in the team, and we did, which was great. You know, Anthony Gordon getting the rest, Jacob Murphy getting the rest, a number of players, and it was great to see because I now feel even more confident going into West Ham at the weekends because these boys are going to be fresh and they're going to be ready to rock and roll. But yeah, great opportunity for a lot of players tonight to come in and to hopefully stamp their mark on the team and show Eddie Howe that they're capable of being in this squad and that they can be trusted. So it was a big night for a lot of players. But I still fancied us. I still thought it was a good 11. But yeah, I was intrigued, is what I would say. That.
Were you equally as intrigued, Pete? Were you missing Botman, who's been an ever-present in the last little while? But what did you make of the team?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, lads. When I saw the team, I was a little bit unsure. I was a little bit unsure with that lineup, and I was a bit like, oh, I'm not sure if that's the right lineup we should be using tonight. I was concerned about Kraft. I was concerned about Willock in the team in particular, 2 players, and I was a bit like, not quite sure on that. To be fair, I didn't expect Botman to play. Obviously, with the staples, with the cut to his eye, and the fact that we've got 5 centre backs, I just thought there's no point putting him through it. We've got confidence in our back line. I thought Schär and Thiaw were really good at the back end of Fulham game when they came on and switched, and they have no reason to not be good again. But yeah, Bobby's right. I need to absolutely look. I love it. Everyone knows how much I love Eddie Howe. Maybe I do need to trust him a little bit more because, look, I have to say that lineup was absolutely spot on. It really, really was. I've got no qualms with it whatsoever. I looked at the Spurs team and I thought, okay, they've rested a few players, and that's why I was kind of like, do we need to go stronger and really get at them because they've got an excellent away record. I think they've got the best away record in the Premier League this season, and I thought it might be difficult, but hey, always trusted Eddie Howe. He will see you right, and he absolutely did. The lineup was perfect.
I think the thing to add as well, Pete, which I was really encouraged by, because obviously I'd looked at other lineups of other teams because I was interested to see how they were setting up tonight. I liked the fact that we had a number of big hitters on the bench, so that if it wasn't quite panning out, we could make those subs, and obviously they can come on and influence the game. And we did see that towards the end of the game. But as I say, my local noisy neighbours didn't quite implement that, and when it got to half time and it was 2-0. It was almost like, well, maybe you could make some changes off the bench. But unfortunately, they decided to name an academy bench, which I think is crazy, but we're not here to talk about Liverpool. I was just making that observation. We had a strong bench.
Just to add to your point, Chris, I think for me, obviously being concerned about the lineup and then seeing what we produced, it just goes to show with the likes of Liverpool and 1 or 2 other teams, it just goes to show how strong our squad is.
It does.
You know, that was Spurs' alternative team tonight, and look how weak they looked in comparison to our alternative team. I just think it shows the strength of the squad. And like, we're not even talking about Lewis Hall, Tino Livramento, Johan Wieser. You know, you look at that team, and you know, they've still got some good players in there, but you look at that and you look at what we put out tonight and the performance we put in, and look, guys, you're going to go through it in a second. Like, it's just chalk and cheese. It really, really was. Yeah. And I don't think you get any Spurs fan, even the hardest of Spurs man, disagreeing with that.
Boys, I know this because super chats coming in because I can look at it at the same time now on YouTube. That's brilliant. I love this. I love a bit of fast broadband. Right, okay. Let's get into a bit of the game. And as I said, Pete, if the draw's about to start, just shout and we will pause. So yeah, but there was a great display from all of St James's Park for Remembrance Day as well. So a great reception there for that. Right, let's get into a bit of the game. 7 minutes in, great chance for Ramsey, but he was blocked as he tried to take a shot. 11 minutes in, great work by Big Nick. Freeze Barnes, whose shot hit the side just wide of the post. Multiple corners for Newcastle as they look to steal a march, but it wasn't until the 23rd minute when they did, because Schär gets his head at the end of one of the corners. So to take Newcastle 1-0 up, here is a little picture of the header from Fabian Schär, and cue the celebration as well. Richarlison wasn't too happy about that. He got a yellow to boot as well. But what did you make of Fabian's goal? Chris, we'll go to you first.
First of all, mate, I think Tottenham are absolutely desperate in that scenario, because for me, Jed Spence taking the mick, tying his shoelaces, taking a while. He stands up and he starts running back towards the box. And then Newcastle capitalised on that. Take a quick corner kick, and it was a lovely delivery. And then obviously, put away expertly by Fabian Schär, who we know is more than capable of doing that. So it was a great header, great goal. But yeah, couldn't understand the moans from Tottenham Hotspur, because Jed Spence took a hell of a long time doing his shoelaces, and then he gets up, starts running back towards the goal. So are we all just meant to wait for Jed Spence to get in position and then take our corner kick? Absolutely not. It's up to Spurs to sort out what they're doing. And then the commentator mentioned, about them only having 10 men, and it was like, hang on a minute, mate. He was on the pitch. If he's not in position, or he's running back to position, someone's got to cover him. Simple as. And that's down to them. So I thought I knew they were talking about maybe looking at it and the referee, possibly changing his mind, but it was like, no, don't stop talking nonsense. There was nothing wrong with that goal whatsoever. But yeah, as I say, really, really nice corner. Lovely finish from Fabian Schär with the header. And yeah, 1-0 up. And it was full steam ahead from them, because as soon as we got in the lead, and we deserved to go in the lead, by the way, because we started the game really, really well. So it was fully deserved, because we had a number of decent chances, I could say, and fully deserved, well worked corner kick. And I'm sure the commentator said as well that Tottenham have scored, or Tottenham have scored a lot of their goals from set pieces. So to score a goal against Tottenham from a set piece, I'm here for it. Loved it.
Did you love it as well, Pete?
Yeah, it was a fantastic goal. We need to be scoring more of those type of goals in the team, with the type of physicality we have. When you've got so many players over 6'3", we should be causing more problems in that back line. And we're crying out for Newcastle to put it into an area and players to attack it. If you look at Spurs set up zonally, so they're all static. If you look at the line in the build-up to that goal, they're all standing still, they're all in a line, all zonally marking. But we had a clutch of big players there, and I was crying out watching the game, was just go and attack the ball, put it into that area and go and attack it, because we'll have the run on the player and we can get the height and be able to dominate in the air. And that's exactly what we did. I just expected it to be another player other than Fabian Schär, who's probably the smallest of all of those big physical players. But hey, we'll take it, and it's a fantastic header. Fabian Schär always puts his head in where it hurts. He always gives everything for the cause, and he got on the end of that. It was a brilliant header. You could maybe question the goalkeeper in terms of going down really easily, and it was a poor save, but to be fair, I couldn't care less. It went in the back of the net, and that was all I was bothered about. And you know what? We deserved that. We dominated that early part of the game, and we absolutely needed to be rewarded with a goal, and I was really glad that we got that. So really well worked, really well played, great goal, And yeah, back in business.
Back in business is right. Don't worry, we are going to cut to the draw when the draw happens. Pete will flag it to us.
I think it's about to happen now.
Oh, is it?
Newcastle are number 6. Newcastle are number 6 in the draw.
Okay.
So it's just bringing through the numbers right now, just talking it through.
Okay, cool.
And I think I think the next screen might well be them standing around the draw. I'm just waiting.
If you could get a picture of the numbers, I'm going to have a look for that. I couldn't find anything earlier, but
they're standing now around it, ready to go. So yeah, okay, yeah, we're here, people. It's about to begin. First one out, number 4. That is Arsenal.
Oh, not 6.
Yeah,
don't want that one.
One definitely to avoid there. Let's see. Number 5.
That's okay.
Crystal Palace.
Ooh,
Tough.
Ooh.
Okay.
What a fixture! What a fixture!
Whew. Number 2. Cardiff.
Let's go.
I'll take that.
Cardiff. Come on. Give us a good draw for a change. Number 8. Chelsea. Chelsea always get it easy. Man. Okay. Next one. Number 7. Man City. Oh, fuck's sake.
Okay, no, we'd skip that one as well.
There ain't many balls left in the draw, mate. Please. Number 1. Ooh, Brentford.
We got them people. We just know who we've got.
I don't know who the last team is. Number 6, home draw.
Oh,
Home
yes.
draw.
Fulham. The lads are sitting Fulham in the chat.
Fulham.
It is, yeah. It is Fulham. Boys.
Fulham.
Take
Again.
that long. Take it.
Same again.
Yes.
Same again, lads. Same again. Buzzing at that. Yeah. Draw.
Emilio, we're coming for you. We are coming for you, Emilio.
Yeah, we're coming back. So the draws has been, so it's Arsenal, Crystal Palace, Cardiff, Chelsea, City against Brentford, and Newcastle against Fulham. Lads, I'm buzzing at that draw. That's a fantastic draw right there.
Got to take that.
Fantastic draw.
Bring it on. When are the actually? I could Google it here myself, but when are the ties due to be on?
December, I think.
December, is it?
Mm.
Okay, cool. Right, we'll revert back to the draw again. So,
is it early? It's early December, is that right? Early December.
Yeah.
Because that's when we played Brentford. Remember?
Let me just have a quick
When
check.
we were in that run. We went on that run, didn't we? And that was early December or just before Christmas.
Let's have a look. Right, we are looking. Oh, that's interesting. It's not actually penciled in on NUFC.com. I had a quick look. I thought it would be penciled in.
That's right, God, as well, Chris. That's my go-to place for fixtures.
Alan Thompson says the 15th.
Oh, okay, 15th of December.
So
well, we play Sunderland, don't we, on the 14th? So that's going to get moved, isn't it?
It can't be the 15th of December because we play Leverkusen that week in the Champions League.
That's the 10th of December, Leverkusen.
Was it? Oh yeah, sorry. No, he's right. That's the week after. That's the week after. So that's after the derby.
So it'll be week commencing the 15th, which is the Monday. Okay. So it'll probably be the 17th or 18th, probably.
So in between Sunderland away and Chelsea at home.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay. Cool.
Cheers, Alan.
Cheers, Alan.
Cheers, guys, for that in the chat. That's great, actually. Right, let's get back to this, boys. We'll revert back to talking about a bit about Fulham again. But yeah, so just carrying on then from the goal from Fabian Schär, some half chances from Spurs who looked to try and get back in the game. Then there was a great move by Newcastle. Tonali who crosses the ball, Malick Thiaw squares it, and Barnes with the volley. A bit of acrobatics there from Barnes, but he hits the bar with that. Should have really been putting us 2-0 up at that stage, but that kind of took us to half time. 1-0 up at the break. Jump through into the second half and stop along the way at the goal, boys. 46 minutes, Joe Willock makes a mess of a header, and I can't even read my own writing. Yes, I am back. Right, he made a mess of the header anyway after he goes across us from Barnes. 49 minutes then. Big Nick Woltemade gets his head on Joe Willock ball after Malick Thiaw won the ball back to make it 2-0. There's Big Nick with his celebration goal and his actual celebration, and here he is with his header. But boys, what did you make of that goal? Great ball in from Joe Willock, who had just missed that kind of sitter right before that.
Go on, Pete, you go, mate.
Yeah, honestly, anytime Big Nick puts the ball in the back of the net, you're going to get me just going absolutely mental. And that's exactly what I did. Big Nick, lovely finish. You know what makes me laugh about it is that he barely gets any clear-cut chances in the game. But when he does, he literally puts them away. It's so good to see. But yeah, you know what? Massive props to Joe Willock, because there was a few in the Mags Down South chat that were kind of hammering Willock in the build-up to that. And you know, rightly so. He'd missed a couple of chances. He was poor in a couple of areas. But for him to not let it affect him, shrug that off, whipping a fantastic ball, it just eludes so many defenders. And puts it in an area where Nick Woltemade can actually attack the ball. He hasn't had many of them, and boy, does he attack it. People will question the goalkeeper, but again, just like Fabian Schär, you put your head in there where it hurts, you get the rewards, and it's a really simple goal in the end. And as soon as that goal goes in, lads, I was confident that we were going to go to the next round, no doubt about it. So great to see Willock sort of having an impact in the game. Even better to see Nick Woltemade get a chance and take it. And he just keeps notching up those goal tallies as a certain rat just sits on the bench, playing around with his cheese string groin. It's great to see.
Great to see. Was it great to see for you, Chris? Big Nick putting it in the back of the net again.
Mate, it's just what he does, isn't it? It's just what he does. Like Pete said, he doesn't get many chances, but when he gets a chance, it's almost like everything goes in slow-mo and you just kind of like, he's going to score. I mean, I was astounded that when the ball came into the box, like Nick Woltemade beat the goalkeeper with his head. I was like, the keeper came out and Nick Woltemade jumped higher than what Kinski, I think his name is, could even get towards the ball. Like he's just phenomenal. He really, really is. He's absolutely brilliant. And every time I see him score, I just think it's another one under his belt, another confidence booster. It's just fantastic. And just to mention as well, boys, and I know we only briefly went over the first and second half. That little piece of skill in the first half where he set up the chance for Harvey Barnes. Jesus. Like it just a little simple nick round, but it just makes all the difference. I just love this. I just love this guy. I just love him. Absolutely love him. And he makes everything look so easy. And it's not that easy, but he makes football look easy. It was a delight to see him score again. And I tell you what, Johan Visser in the background, he'll be really looking forward to making his Newcastle debut, and he'll be really looking forward to getting involved in this squad. But Eddie Howe's going to have one hell of a headache on his hands, because how can you take this fella off the starting 11? He's absolutely brilliant. And I think, I forget which attack it was, boys, you'll probably be able to remind me. Do you remember the attack when we went on the counter and Nick Woltemade is running like a horse? He's literally sprinting at full pelt. I'm sure it was in the second half. to try and catch up with the attack. And I thought, so he's even adding that to his game. Do you know what I mean? He's showing that he's clearly up for his fitness. He's clearly giving it all. And yeah, I just love him. Absolutely love him. Great finish. Cracking cross from Willock. And Nick Woltemade doing what Nick Woltemade does best. Putting the ball in the back of the net.
You know who else loves him, Chris? Fulham. Fulham love him. All the hugs they were giving him there at the weekend, and he wasn't getting any frees for it. So let's go back. They get more hugs, but maybe some free kicks this time. Ref. Right, let's go move on because Big Nick tried to return the favour to Willock because he sent him on his way. He was released by Big Nick, but it comes to nothing. A good run by Willock, but he kind of ran into trouble and just nothing came out. But then Newcastle been kind of patient in the build-up, not kind of rushing the shot. If they were chasing the game or 1-0 up, they would have taken the shot. But they kind of they recycle the ball and try and look for a better opening. 59 minutes, Ramsdale with an unbelievable save from a shot, reminding us what he is all about. And 66 minutes, another reaction save from Rambo, as Pete would like to call him, Rambo. Right, but at 69 minutes, some subs for Eddie. As Trips comes on for Krafku, Asula comes on for Big Nick, and J7 comes on for Willock. 73 minutes, Alanga gets on the end of a sharp ball, cuts it out, tries to cut it back to Asula, but nothing really came of that. Newcastle keep going, looking for that third goal to really kill off the game, but it wasn't coming. 78 minutes, Bruno's desperate to get on the pitch, so he gets his wish. Ramsey comes off, and 87 minutes, Gordon comes on, and Elanga comes off. Final score, 2-0 Newcastle, safely through to the quarterfinals of the League Cup, who we now know we will face Fulham in a home, as we get a home draw. So bring that on. Boys, we're all delighted.
Absolutely ecstatic, mate. Absolutely ecstatic. And yeah, that draw there that Pete kindly relayed to us, that's just put the cherry on the cake for me. We wanted a home draw. For me personally, I wanted to avoid Arsenal. I appreciate in order to win a trophy, you're going to have to beat the best. So we will probably come up against Arsenal at some point if we continue to progress through the competition. But at this stage, you just want a home draw and you want to try and get yourself to that semi-final. And I think, and I hope that, we've put ourselves in a really good position because I fancy us at home to Fulham. But yeah, in terms of the game, that's brilliant. And like I say, I go now into this West Ham game full of confidence because we've rested some key players. We've given some players' legs a rest this evening. And yeah, it's another win. It's another clean sheet. And like I say, I go into West Ham confident this weekend now.
Cool. Pete, just before I come to you, your final thoughts of the game, should we be thinking about making bookings? Is it too early? You never know. You might. Never too early.
That's what a video of that. What a video of that. Look, we'd all love nothing more than to see that again. That's for sure. But look, first and foremost, it's a great and fantastic opportunity to get to a semi-final again. What is it? Four quarterfinals in a row now achieved. It could be 3 out of 4 semi-finals potentially if we're able to topple Fulham. And look, we've given ourselves the best opportunity at home, St James's Park, under the lights against Fulham. Unless you're picking up Cardiff at home, you couldn't have asked for a better draw, in my opinion. With the teams that are left in it, and I know what you said, Daz. You have to beat the best in order to win the competition. But we already proved that last season. We beat the best and then some to win the competition. And I'd like to think that with some of the stinking draws we've had over the last 15, 16 years in some of these cup competitions, with some of these difficult teams away in the early rounds constantly, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, you name it, we could go back through and run through them all. I think it's nice now that actually we're getting some favourable draws coming our way. We're getting some draws back at St James's Park. You know, you go back through the years, last 20 years, the amount of easy draws that the likes of Chelsea have received, the likes of Man City have received, and that's knocked them on the way to get into the last stages of the competition. Then they can turn it on, and then they can beat the best when it comes to it. And I've got no doubt about it. Like if we can topple Fulham, which I'll be confident about going into that game, hopefully with everyone fit and firing, I'd be confident about going against any team in the semi-final. Any one of those teams that are left in it, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City, you know, you look at those three teams really as teams that are likely to be in the semi-final. I'd be confident of going up against any of them going into that, because it's where you want to be. You want to be in the latter stages playing against the best teams possible. So, yeah, look, it's a great draw. I'm really happy with it. Buzzing of how we managed to get into this next round. And you know what? Happy days at this moment in time. Players got minutes. Players got rested. We've got West Ham away, who are a mess at the moment, and we need to take advantage of on Sunday. And yeah, we could really kind of rubber stamp this period before the next internationals as a really positive period for Newcastle United if we can continue the way we're doing right now.
Right, boys. Chris, do you have any comments or questions you want to go to?
We do, mate. We do. A couple of super chats. So thank you in advance, everyone, for doing the super chat. So first one is from Geniesta Barnaldum. Thank you very much, Geniesta. Top man as always. And Geniesta Barnaldum says, "Did you see Ramsdale's 60-yard pinged pass to Woltemade's feet?" Oh yes, we did. And it was beautiful, boys. Pete, I'm going to come to you, mate. I've seen you getting just as excited as me there.
Look, I tweeted out just after the game. Aaron Ramsdale, I thought he was absolutely sensational. Hey, Sums, absolutely sensational today. Absolutely sensational. Just everything about his game was spot on. His distribution was absolutely on point. Really, really good. I thought his commanding of the area was really efficient. You know, when you've got a player 40 yards out, a goalkeeper running 40 yards out, sweeping the ball up, chesting it down, smashing it out to the halfway line for a throw-in, you know you've got a confident goalkeeper that believes in his ability. He made an outstanding save from Paxar in the second half. What a save. The judgment on it, first and foremost, to know that he was going to go in that corner. That was right into the corner. That's going side netting if it beats him. That's how good that shot was. Yeah. But to get a big, strong hand on that and to deny him, and then close down the second ball that was put in after that, he was just superb. And then his commanding in the area, come out and made a few big takes, which I always talk about Nick Pope doing and being a real strong point of his game. But he had the full package tonight, Aaron Ramsdale, and you know, I was so pleased for him to get that clean sheet because he deserved it. The team at times did drop off in the game and give Tottenham the emphasis to really push forward, and I was really hoping he didn't concede because he didn't deserve to be on a team that conceded a goal today because he was that good. So yeah, Aaron Ramsdale, absolutely superb. It wasn't, you know, with all due respect to Pope, it was actually nice to see balls being kicked long up the pitch and to stay on the pitch, to hit players. There was a couple out to Alanga. I know there was one in the chat already mentioned about Woltemade, and there's a couple out there, I think, for Barnes as well. But this distribution was very, very good. Look, the one thing I'll say, boys, is that, you know, if, for example, Pope does drop off or have a bad game, Eddie Howe will have no doubts in his mind to be making that change and be putting Aaron Ramsdale in. And what we can absolutely see, and I think I talked about it, Chris, on the reaction to the Benfica game, is that I was in the ground an hour before the game and I watched the warm-ups with the goalkeepers, and you could really tell that Ramsdale was doing all he could to show how good he was in front of the fans. He was really pushing Nick Pope, and Nick Pope was watching everything that he was doing. Nick Pope, he knows he's in a battle here, and he has to put in like 5-star performances. He needs to be picking up clean sheets in order to keep Ramsdale out of the team. Any point that he drops off and has a bad game, he's out, and I think he knows it.
Daz, I mean, do you obviously? Well, firstly, did you see the 60-yard ping pass to Woltemade's feet? But also touching on what Pete's just said, Do you think it's a coincidence that since Adam Ramsdale's joined the club, that Nick Pope's form has absolutely transformed? Me and Pete spoke. I don't think it was on the last show. I think it was the show before. About the fact that Nick Pope has been pretty faultless this season, and I'll be the first to hold my hands up and say I said that I wanted a new number one. I'm not going to divvy away from that, but credit where credit is due, and I've given Nick Pope a lot of stick in the past. Like, how impressed have you been with Nick Pope this season?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, because I was thinking, like, because I've kind of nearly missed a month, I could nearly go through the whole team and go give my, because there's been some stand-up performances from a lot of them. Really, they've also stepped up in the last while. First of all, let's go to Ramsdale. I cannot remember that. I was multitasking and trying to eat at dinner as well as part of that first half, but I don't remember that ping pass. But I did obviously see the two great saves that he made, especially that one from Papsar. Look, it is great that when he's called upon and when he gets his chance, he takes it, because he's in a massive battle with, as you said, Nick Pope. Nick Pope has been class. At this stage, I thought that we'd be talking about where's Nick Pope off to next, but Nick Pope has really stepped up, and he's got that extra leader position now in the team as well. Of course, that was announced over the last couple of weeks as well, and he got there was an extension that we found out about as well to his contract. So fair play to Nick Pope. He's proved me wrong from the start of the season, and maybe Keith Downey is right. Whoever came in as keeper wasn't going to oust Nick Pope as number one, and fair play to him. Look, the way Nick Pope is going, he could be getting a call for the England squad again for the World Cup. He's doing that well, but Ramsdale still has something to say about that, I'm sure.
Yeah, I imagine so, mate. But yeah, it's great having two keepers who are equally capable. And I like Pete, I have seen the difference in Nick Pope, and despite Martin Dubravka playing very well at Burnley, I do feel like we've levelled up in Adam Ramsdale. So it's all good. It's all good for the squad, and it's a real positive.
Do you mean ahead of Martin Dubravka?
Yeah.
Which?
Aaron Ramsdale levelled up for Dubravka, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Adam Ramsdale is an upgrade on Martin Dubravka. Yeah, even though I'm saying he's playing well for Burnley, but Burnley are absolutely made up from the Burnley fans. But he is definitely a level up from Martin Dubravka.
When you're having 60 shots at your game, you're always going to look good. But look, Ramsdale is levels. Like fair play. There was an outstanding save against Wolves. It was an outstanding save against Wolves. I have to say that save was unbelievable. But look. I choose Bamber all day long. Yeah. You boys know the score. Yeah. You know the score.
Yeah. Dubs is doing well at Burnley, though. He's doing okay at Burnley. He's the second keeper in fantasy football.
He's doing well. Yeah. When you have 60 shots at you a game, you're gonna.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Look, I'm being petty.
I know.
I'm being petty here. Look, he's doing all right. But
I know, Pete. The key word is not Dubravka this year. The key trigger word now is Congo.
Oh. Don't you start, man. I've had a month of bliss. And
there he is.
Get that cloud off my screen. Not a chance.
Right, we've got another super chat here off Peter Griffin. Thank you very much, Peter. Thank you very much. So Peter Griffin says, we have now won 5 in the last 6 in all competitions. We are trending up. Maybe we're going on a run now. And do you know what, boys? This is what we've been crying out for. Dazzler, I'm going to come to you first, mate, because obviously, you've not been on the shows in recent times. Is that how you're feeling? Pete and I said recently, that we felt that this was an opportunity for us to really stamp a mark. Really, look at the opposition. All the different teams in the Premier League. There's a lot of teams dropping points against against sides where they really should be winning. Do you see us going on this run? Do you think we're in a run? Do you think there's an opportunity for us to go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 unbeaten? What do you think?
Yeah, I do, and I think we are in that run. Of course, the Brighton result was the downer in that, but we always come a cropper at Brighton. But yeah, as I said, I listen to you guys a lot on Spotify when I was in the car. Listen to a bit of Pod in the Time as well, and they were also talking about is this the chance now for Newcastle to go on the run? So yeah, I think it is, and again coming into this game at the weekend, it's a big chance for us to kick on as well. So hopefully we get on the road as well away at West Ham. So let's see.
Yeah, absolutely. Pete, just to read them out to you, I'm sure they're imprinted in your brain, mate, but I'm just going to read them out to you. So we've got West Ham away on Sunday. Then we've got Bilbao at home in the Champions League. We've then followed that up with Brentford away. Then we've got Man City at home. Then we've got Marseille away. I'll stop after Marseille away because obviously that's 5 games. Are we capable of going on an unbeaten run? Dare I say it? A 5-game winning streak? Do you think it's possible? Like, how are you looking at those next 5 fixtures? And what are you thinking in terms? What are the must wins for you?
The important thing to say at the beginning of that is that there is an international break in the middle of it.
There is,
and that will absolutely be a factor. So I'll talk about for me. I certainly think we can go on an unbeaten run for the next 3: West Ham, Bilbao, and then Brentford before the international break. Albeit 2 of those are away from home. For me, we have to beat West Ham. We have to. They're on an awful run. Their home form is dreadful. We're on form. We've had players rested tonight. They should be fit and firing, ready for Sunday to really put on a performance. And if we can go and win there, I think that'll be the catalyst to go into Bilbao. There's a chance that we can put serious points on the board and ask serious questions of other clubs on Sunday with regard to the Premier League, because there are some teams that play each other this weekend. And so if we can go and win in a game that, for me, I'm expecting us to win, that puts us on 15 points, and it actually puts us in and around that conversation with some of those teams that are up there. And that is a really good place to be. Equally, in the next game against Bilbao, we could all but kind of be close to securing ourselves in the top 24 for the Champions League, in at least getting a knockout place by beating Bilbao. We could be in a really strong, solid position there if we can go and win against Bilbao. And I'll be honest with you, at the moment, Bilbao are not good. They're not good at the moment. They're not playing well. And it could be, and I hope it is, another Benfica type performance. The Brentford one is the big question. It's because I actually think Brentford are doing all right at the moment. I think they're playing well, and they're strong and looking good at home. And we're not the best going there, so that one's a little bit up in the air. But do I think we're good enough to beat them there? Absolutely. I think tactically, I think defensively, I think we're better than some of the teams that they've beaten at their ground recently. And then you've got the international break. Look, City at home, we owe City. We owe City at St. James's Park. We've come so close at times and just dropped off and not performed well. So I can't say that we're going to win there, but possibly a draw. Then you say Marseille. For me, I think Marseille's a really tough game. I really do. I think if we could get a point there, I'd snap your hand off before and I'd run out of there, because they look really good. Mason Greenwood, the likes of Aubameyang, really, really strong. The likes of Angel Gomez can't even get on the pitch at times for them, and that just shows the strength of the team. So I would say maybe in the next 4, we've got an opportunity of going unbeaten. I'm not sure about Marseille away. I think that's going to be a really, really tough trip, personally.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, and if you boys saw the press conference, you probably did. And it was news to me. I didn't realise the gulf. But one of the questions from the journalists was around the money that obviously you can earn in all these different competitions, and one of them highlighted, if you win the Carabao Cup, you get 100 grand. For every Champions League game you win, you get 1.8 million. So not only is there an incentive, like you say, Pete, to try and get in that top 8. I mean, getting in that top 8 would just be a dream, wouldn't it? To miss all of that qualification, that would just be a dream. But every single win counts, and it all puts the money in the coffers. And we're perfectly capable, as you say, of beating Bilbao. But yeah, there's that extra incentive in that it makes this Champions League campaign even more profitable. If you can go and win those Champions League matches, because you're fighting for a lot of money, aren't you? An absolute lot of money. Right.
Chris, before you move on, Chris, just want to show the team photo, because this is in as well. So let's have a proper look there. Who's JT Hogan? That's my question.
JT.
And Trips.
Let me see. That's JT.
There's always I think they've got a few new female members of staff added to the team recently. That they're normally on the left. There's normally one or two in there, but we don't know what their roles are. Well, I certainly don't anyway. Don't know what their roles are, what they do. But yeah, what are you getting at, Dazzler? What are you?
I'm not insinuating anything. I'm just wondering who these people are. But no, great to see another one of these photos. May they go? Sorry, Chris. Sorry.
No, mate. No. It's no. I agree. I agree. It's great to see these photos. We love them.
Oh, someone said there's Weezer in there. Was Weezer in there?
Oh, was he?
N9.
Oh, sorry. Let me see. Put it over here.
Where is he?
He is there. He's over near Craft Coup. Behind him, 2 heads behind Craft.
Oh yeah, right at the back.
Yeah.
Next to Tonali.
Yeah.
Under the N.
Yeah, love it. Great to see Weezer back in.
Love that.
Back in the mix with the boys. You know what? I like. You know, as soon as back on form with his Snapchats at the moment, and actually, I think it's because he's not been able to play, not really been involved where we've been able to see him kind of up close and personal. I actually like the fact that there already seems to be a chemistry there and a bit of a friendship banter. He's already built relationships with certain players, Alanga, Willock, one or two others as well. I think we're really good at that as a club. Like Malick Chow already knows Sandro Tonali, but German understanding with Woltemade, really good, seems to be really good friends with Sven Botman. Like some of the players coming in have already made really good connections early on, and that is sometimes half of the battle. If you feel welcomed and comfortable, like our boys have been made to feel, Ramsdale did exactly the same. He's already involved in a lot of things. With the old girl and the video, I don't know if you saw it on YouTube, where she gets to meet Eddie Howe and she gets to meet Ramsdale and whatever. Ramsdale already being a part of those big moments and those big things being captured just shows that he's already an integral part of the team. I like that. We're really good at integrating players, really, really good, and I like the content that we're putting out. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Chris, I'm going to interrupt you one more time, Chris.
Go for it.
But boys, what is a hype button? I heard you talking about it in the car, right? I was driving along and I heard Pete said hype button. I said, Pete, do you not mean the like button? And then he says it again. I said, has Pete developed a list for something here? What is going on? What is a hype button? I don't know what it is. I can't see it.
I have to pass this over to Pete because Pete explains the hype button like no other.
And neither does other people in the chat, I see.
So for people watching, after the show, go back on the YouTube on our YouTube channel and click this show, and there will be a hype button. So where you can normally see the chat function or any comments after the show, you'll see 3 dots above it. If you swipe to the left, the next tag is the hype button. And basically what the hype button is, you'll click it and it will give us a certain amount of hype points. And with that, what it does, it's extra exposure. So a like, for example, what we always encourage, and you've got the likes of Jeannie Esther, Tom, Sophie in the chat that always promote the like button. Thanks for watching. Welcome, as always. But the hype button gives us extra exposure, and it's for channels like ours to get more exposure so other people, Newcastle fans and others, can see the content that we put out. So the hype button is really, really important. One of the things that Chris did explain well with regards to the hype button is that you can only have 3, I think, a week. So, of course, keep your hypes Floated Mag NUFC, you know the score. And we definitely have at least 3 shows a week for you to hit that hype button. So yeah, for everyone that's watching right now and everyone that's watching back, just at this moment in time, just scroll left, hit the hype button. For those that are watching live, you'll be able to do it after the show, and it will just give us more exposure. So thank you very much. But yeah, Bobby, I'm so glad you'd never swipe left on me. You'd never swipe. You know, that makes sense.
Right, I've got a few more super chats that have come in. So thank you very much to everybody for doing that. And we've got messages from our loyal loaded ultras. Geordie Toon for life. I love this one. Geordie Toon for life. Who's been a member for 44 months. Thank you very much, Geordie Toon for life. And he says, "Welcome back, Daz. We have missed you, haven't we? We have. We absolutely have. It's great to have you back.
I've missed you guys too, all the chatters and the boys here, obviously on screen, and some of the great guests that you guys had on. I've missed everyone. So no, great to be back, and yeah, lots more to cover this season. Don't you worry about that."
Absolutely. And another message that I like, and it's from Mike Gent, using a famous loaded saying. Mike Gent says, who's been a member for 45 months. Thank you very much, Mike. And Mike says, great show, great results, great draw, and great age.
Great age.
Absolutely.
Like that one. That's a good one.
Absolutely.
I've got a feeling that's going to be back very, very soon as we approach January.
It will, mate.
Keep that in mind, Mike. Great stuff.
It absolutely will. Yeah. Hopefully.
Money bags down. Money bags down, isn't it?
Absolutely. Oh, there's a great super chat that's just coming from Tino, but I'll come to that last. That's a cracking one because I remember that from the press conference. Fraden81 says, who's been a member for 3 months. Thank you, Fraden. Fraden says, this is the best Newcastle United channel. Fraden, I agree with you.
Cheers, Freud.
I agree with you, mate. I agree
That's
with you.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Appreciate it, fella.
And Sophie B, our resident spanner, Sophie has become a member. Thank you very much, Sophie. It's great to have you on.
Yeah, time, Sophie. Jeez, man.
Have you on board.
Welcome to the party, Sophie.
Yeah, absolutely. We also have John Burbeck. Thank you very much, John, who's been a member for 25 months. Thank you very much, John, top man. And John says Malick Chow is an I think he's saying Malick Chow is. I reckon he's going to say number 2. I think that's what he means. And Malick Chow is a number 2 Rolls Royce up the tune. And I think, and the reason I'm assuming he means number 2 is because we already have a Rolls Royce in Sven Botman. And I agree with John. Boys, how impressed have you been with Malick Chow? And Daz, I'm coming to you first because me and Pete have been waxing lyrical about him every single game, every single show. You know, talk about tonight and also talk about what you've seen as well since you've been away.
I've heard you guys. I've heard you. I've been in the car listening to you, and you're hyping them up. There, that's that word again, hype. No, he's been class. He's just like he's so comfortable on the ball, and you think he's going to pass it back, and he's got it. He's playing out a ball through the center, trying to set up an attack. It's like he's been there for years. And you know, I was thinking about how I'd answer this because I knew it would come up in conversation at some point, and. I was all on for Malick Chow, and then we had the Italian journalist back. This is like over a year ago on, and he kind of he I don't know, was it that he didn't want him to go, but he kind of played him down a bit, and maybe at that time he was right to do so, but and it kind of swayed me a bit then on him, and he was kind of always kind of like a second choice for me, but like now if we talk about Scalvini, Osman Diamande, whoever else were linked in the marquee, I'd rather keep Malick Chow. He's been class. He's been absolutely class for us. So look, he could turn out to be the signing, our signing of the season, really, for what we paid for him. So long way to continue.
I think do you know what? Just before I come to Peter, and I'm going to ask Peter a question on this. I think. Today, more so than ever, I don't know why. Maybe it was because we were a bit more in control of the game today than what we've been in previous games. But like at times, you know, Malick Chow's picking the ball up, and you can see his first thought is, "How can I get this ball forward? I'm not taking the easy pass. How can I get the ball forward?" Some of the passing into the midfield, you know, he gets us, you know, very very quickly up the pitch. And what I want to ask you, Pete, is, you know. you coming to expect this now from Malick Thiaw? Is this becoming like a regular thing? Because every time we watch him, it feels like he just gets better and better and better. And as Daz said, it feels like he's been in the team for like 3 or 4 years, and we've all got to like kind of remind ourselves, this is his first full season. Like, can Malick Thiaw level up even from where he is now, or are you just at this moment saying, you know what, this is good enough for me? I'm just happy, just keep it consistent. How are you feeling about him, mate?
No, there's levels to his game. Absolutely, there's levels to his game. He can get even better than what he is now, and that's the scary thing about how good he is right now. The biggest compliment I think people can give Malick Thiaw, from a Newcastle perspective, is that every other top club is now talking about Malick Thiaw and how good he is, and nobody was talking about him when we signed him. Only us. We were the only ones that were talking about how good he was, because we know, because we've been linked with him for a year and we've been talking about him for a year. Everyone else now is talking about him, and it was the same with Sven Botman. Sven Botman, they are kind of like mirror image, because we signed him under the noses of everyone else, and then they see him play and go, he's a good player. I rate him. And everyone is now saying that about Malick Thiaw. He is that good, and there are levels to his game. But there's levels to Sven Botman's game as well. I think both of them together can grow and develop as a partnership, and I think they can be absolutely the rock that this team is built on moving forward as a partnership. The thing that I loved about Malick Thiaw more than anything, because look, he wins headers, he's big and strong in tackles. He did a fantastic recovery tackle in the first half, where Schär was really quite slow. He had a good game, but he was quite slow in his recovery. Malick Thiaw just kind of like just strolls past everybody in a diagonal and just blocks the ball. But what I loved about it is he blocks the ball and he goes up to the Gallagher and he gives it one of them. And it just gets everyone.
One of the boys.
You know what? He knows. He's not been at the club very long, but he knows it. He feels the club. He knows what it's all about. He knows what it means to play for Newcastle United. He's really kind of sort of giving himself to the club, really kind of like giving himself to the culture and what this club is built on. And you can already see it in the early stages. And I think it's only going to get better. The biggest compliment I can give Malick Thiaw tonight is he was playing passes that I couldn't even see that were on in the game, and he's really good at progressing the board. And we do play a certain style, so we do play side to side, play down the channels, play inside. But some of the balls that he was playing were bypassing the midfield into the forward line. Some of the passes he was playing, bypassing and going into a Ramsey that was really high up the pitch, or going straight into Woltemade that I didn't even know. And I'm looking at the full screen and I didn't even know that pass was on. And he's managing to find that pass. And it's not just any old pass, it's a perfect pass, perfectly weighted, perfect pass into feet. And it just progresses it doesn't just progresses up the pitch, it progresses significantly up the pitch. His passes turn defense into attack. Just like that. Yes. And that is the biggest compliment that I can give him from what I saw tonight. Now he's doing that on a game basis, but tonight it was more evident than any other game before.
Yeah, it was.
His passing is so good, and you know what? It's not even he can some of the balls that he's playing, lofted chip passes with his left foot. Like, this guy has got everything. He's comfortable with his left foot, comfortable with his right. He can play like those killer passes with his left and his right. He's big and strong in the air. He's quick in recovery. He's literally got everything. Like, the only thing that's missing to his game is goals. And, he had that chance in the first half when it looked like he plays it back to Barnes, and it was behind Barnes. It was a hard one to get by, and he hits the bar. But they're the ones where he just needs to go for goal and just put it in, pull it with his feet, bullet header. Next thing I want to see from him, I want him to start adding goals to his game, because I think that in itself will elevate him to another level, because it adds another threat level to his overall game. That not only is he a brilliant defender and a brilliant on the board, he can cause a problem in the opposition box. That's the next phase that I want to see from his development.
Yeah, absolutely.
He will score, because he does like to go on a little wonder. He definitely wonders more than Botman. Maybe up there with Byrne at times, but no, he's getting closer.
Yeah, Oh, absolutely. We've got 2 more super chats, mate, boys, so I will whiz through these. So, Harps, thank you very much for your super chat, Harps. Much appreciated. And Harps says, Fabian Schär, has he given Howe a headache for the weekend? Now, you can briefly touch on this, boys, but we don't want to give too much away because we might be having an away days on Thursday. We might be. Daz, I'll go to you, mate. How impressed were you with Fabian Schär tonight? And do you think that Fabian Schär may have played his way into the team selection for the weekend?
Of course, Schär scored tonight. And he'll always give Eddie a headache. But for me, it's going to be. I know Botman has the stitches and stuff from the Fulham game. But if once Botman can play, it's Malick Thiaw and Botman for me now. I just like to see the two of them together. But we know that Schär can slot in, and he if and when needed, and great to have some more options because Eddie Howe is going to keep playing Dan Burn left back because we have no one else apart from Alex Murphy. But who scored for me and who scored and then assisted for me in Football Manager, by the way. When I played with it, it's for me. It's Malick Thiaw and Botman, but you never know what Eddie would do.
Yeah, so Pete, same question. Will Fabian Schär have put himself in contention for the game at the weekend? And I suppose as well, what I want to ask you is, even if as Daz has suggested, that Malick Thiaw and Sven Botman will start at the weekend, what a great option for Eddie. What a great headache to have, as Harps has mentioned.
I actually think Eddie Howe has got a massive headache on his hands for Sunday. I genuinely think he has. When a guy scores arguably the winning goal, where it is the winning goal, plays well in himself, had a really good game against a very good team, you are asking the manager to make a decision. And look, this is what we want. We've got 3 centre-backs right now, and I'm not including Byrne on this because he's doing very, very well at left-back, and he's our only left-back at the moment. Although, he did say that Hall has a chance for West Ham, so let's wait and see. He won't start, of course. But so we're having 3 centre-backs that are playing fantastically well at the moment. So Eddie Howe has got a real big decision to make. Boys, what my answer will be in terms of who I'm going to select if I have the choice. But Fabian Schär is absolutely chomping at the bit to get back in this team. And let's not forget, Fabian Schär wasn't taken out of the team because he was playing bad. He was out the team because of a concussion. So he's out the team not because of his performances, but because of a situation. And Malick Thiaw has just kind of took the baton and gone, "Yep, that's mine." I'm just literally rolling with it. But could it be that Sven Botman loses his place for the same reason? Head injury gives Schär the opportunity to get back in the team, plays well, scores a goal. The interchange of Schär and Malick Thiaw is very good, just like Sven Botman and Thiaw is. Could Eddie Howe go, let's run with this for another game, and then maybe give Sven Botman the Bilbao game in the Champions League? Who knows? Like there is genuine question marks. Although I would always go with Sven Botman because I just love the guy for obvious reasons. But hey, I'm going to be honest. Away there, as I spoke to Lourdes, he was speaking to me during the game because he just loves the fact that Tottenham are getting beat. So he's like, fucking hammer them. But Lourdes is going to be with us tomorrow, 8:00. Anyone that's watching, don't miss it. It will be a fantastic show to discuss the match preview. And I think there's big questions that you, Daz, and Chris have got to answer in terms of this starting lineup, because we are having big discussions on this lineup, because not only is the centre back options, you've got the midfield options, you've got the wing options. There are genuine questions across the pitch, which is great to see, lads. This is what we want.
I don't know how you're going to sleep tonight, Chris, because I will be waiting in the wings with that buzzer. And I'm ready to press it. So.
Mate, I was already sitting there, and Pete took the words out of my mouth because I was thinking in my head, maybe he's going to keep Schär in, and maybe say to Sven, "Don't worry, we've got you for Bilbao." But it's just a headache, isn't it? It is a literal headache. So Harps raises a really good point there, because but having the strength and depth is so good, isn't it? And it's great. And really now, the last two pieces of the jigsaw, because God forbid when Lewis Hall comes back, and then Sven Botman then becomes the backup left back and the backup left centre back. It's then like, bloody hell, are we gonna fit Dan Burn? And then when Johan Visser comes back, it's gonna be like, well, are we gonna rotate Woltemade? What are we gonna do? So, but you know what? More importantly, it's options, it's cover, and that's what we've been lacking over the years, isn't it? So we shouldn't complain. This is a really good position, a really good position we find ourselves in. And then the last super chat, boys, that we've got is Tino. And thank you very much, Tino, for the super chat. Much appreciated, mate. And it's a great question. And this came up in Eddie Howe's press conference. Can we find Walter Messi a girlfriend? And Eddie Howe found this very amusing, didn't he? Because I think Eddie Howe was asked if he was going to introduce him to anyone or he knew anyone for him. But yeah, do you know what? On a serious subject, it was a good question, Tino. But on a serious subject, I don't think it'll be long before Nick, gets himself even more settled than what he is now. You can clearly see he's at home. You can clearly see he's enjoying his time here. He's really bedded in well with his teammates. The fans absolutely adore him. And let's hope he settles down and makes some roots. Who knows? But Dazzler, did you see that comment in the press conference? Did you manage to catch it?
I didn't hear. If it's a recent one, I didn't hear. I did hear read something about before. Like Freuden has a suggestion. Sorry, I'm clicking on the wrong thing here. Give us a sec. There it is. Sophie, you can answer that one for Freuden. We stay out of this. We're not a matchmaking service here at Loaded. Even though you never know what Mad Dog is at here. Maybe this is a ploy as well. I'm not insinuating anything there, but you don't know. You don't know what's a play. But yeah, look at you want to see him settled. Of course, Bayern Munich think he's eventually going to Bayern Munich, even though we paid a crazy fee for him and we're idiots for doing so and everything like that. But just want to see this Big Nick happy. He's happy at the moment. He's putting the ball in the back of the net. So let that continue.
Pete, are you feeling the Big Nick energy?
Big Nick energy is running wild right now, and that's why no girlfriend for Big Nick. We need those energy levels high. We need those energy levels high, and a girlfriend will certainly zap them away. So we need them fit and fiery for Newcastle United. We don't want no Lamine Yamal type injuries where they're out for long periods with pelvic injuries and partying and getting in there with lots of his new girlfriends, friends, and etc. etc. We need him to focus on his football right now. Maybe in the down moments, after a fantastic season, in the summer, a nice Geordie lass, he can go out on a few dates and they can have their great summer and he can zap all of his energy all he wants in the summer and then be ready to come back 26, 27 to do it all again. That's what I want from Big Nick. But let's keep those energy levels high, Nick. No out of football fun for you just yet.
Yeah. Boys, I'm gonna wait three quick comments. And I might only go to one of yours, and I'll keep alternating it because I know we'll be wrapping up shortly. But Dazzler, were you a little bit concerned when Big Joe decided he was going to take on the whole Tottenham side, or?
Big Joe, he does what he wants. He does what he wants. As long as he doesn't get another yellow card, I don't mind, because they'll start to add up. But yeah, Big Joe.
Yeah,
we love him. That's enough of Big Joe. Yeah, we love him. Yeah, that'll be interesting as well. Well, that selection headache in the midfield. Wouldn't like to be going first in away days picking the team now, Chris.
I look forward to it, Daz. I look forward to it. But yeah, thank you for your comment there, Mark. Pete, and I feel like this guy needs a little shout. He really, really does. And we discussed him a little bit, didn't we? On when we were talking about contract renewals and stuff like that. But Tino mentioned Emil Kraft. What did you think of Emil Kraft today, Pete? How impressed were you with Emil Kraft? Me personally, I think it's great that he's been out the team so long. He comes in and he does a job. He's a steady Eddie, and I can't actually recall the last game where I've seen Emil Kraft and thought, "Now you've let us down a bit there, or you've been poor there." What were your thoughts on Emil Kraft today?
Yeah, he was one of the positions I was a little bit concerned about. I'm not going to lie. But actually, I thought he had a good game. I thought he grew into the game. I thought he grew in with confidence. There were some really good recoveries that he made across the defensive line when they were trying to counter-attack us, particularly in the first half. I thought he had a steady game. I thought, when we're talking about Trippier having to play every minute because Tino and Hall are out, actually, Emil Kraft has kind of knocked on the door tonight and gone, hello, I'm here. I can do a job for the team. And although if it was up to me, I probably would have gone with Trips. I'm glad they didn't. They've given Trips a rest. I thought, and this is kind of a side point, but look, Emil Kraft I thought was excellent. I thought he played really, really well. He had a really good game. Will he start against West Ham? No. He'll bring Trippier back in because we needed that. And actually, it kind of feeds into this point here is that I actually felt that Eddie Howe's choice of substitutions was absolutely spot on.
I was going to come to this, Pete. I was going to come to this from Friday. Yeah.
It's all the way through the game, the subs and when he made them were at the perfect timing. I felt that when Trippier came on, I actually put it I actually sent a message to one of the lads and I said, Trippier needs to come on here just to settle things down, and he did, and he made that change, and he just brought a little bit more calm to the game, and he's got that leadership level to just see out the game. When Joe Linton came on, I actually thought Bruno probably would have been the better option just to get on the ball. We just needed to hold possession and regain possession and hold on to it for a little bit longer. But actually, Joe Linton coming on, I thought he played well. He broke up the play. He really got about players, a bit like what he did against Fulham. And I thought he played well. Bruno came on and did his business. I thought Asula held up the ball well and won a couple of really crucial free kicks just by being really tough to get the ball off and running into the channels. The subs, Gordon could have got on the end of something and scored late on, but I just thought at the times he made the subs, it just stopped Spurs getting into any sort of rhythm to try and get back into this game. And every player that's coming on, you look at the Tottenham players, you're looking at, you've got Joe Linton coming on, then you got the captain coming on, then you got Gordon coming on, and they're looking around thinking, and they're bringing Kolo Muani on, who I've bigged up all summer and gone Newcastle signing, and he looks absolute trash. Javi Simons, I've bigged him up for God knows how long, and I do think he's a really good player.
Mate. We all have, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And Sandro Tonali just completely just locks him up. And he just got him nailed down. It's just like they must be looking around and looking at the players that we're bringing on, going, "Fuck it, yeah, we ain't getting back in this game." But I thought just a point on Eddie Howe. I thought he really managed his subs well, and I thought he was excellent with that.
Yeah. And moving away from subs slightly, I've saved this one for you from Dan Mann, and he says, "How good is Sandro? Best midfielder we've ever had."
Oh. Okay, where do we start then? Sandro, man of the match performance tonight. Again, Sandro Tonali. 2 years before we signed him. First fully loaded transfer show ever. Pulled him out of the bag. Pete wasn't expecting him. And said, this is the lad we should sign. And much to my surprise, 2 years later, we signed him. But no, he's been absolutely unreal, hasn't he? Like Bruno is my favorite player, and then there's Tonali, and it's so hard to pick between the two. We don't have to pick between the two. We have both of them in our midfield. It's just I think in 20 years' time, if we're picking our all-time favorite squad, I think these two boys are going to beat it. Yeah, they're that good, and I'm kind of. I feel sorry to think that we're going to lose them someday. We won't have them in our team because they're just absolutely class, both of them. But Sandro has risen to another level again this season. So again, long may it continue.
And Daz, I'm going to add a little tiny extra onto that because I wanted to give you the opportunity to give your opinion on obviously the news that Sandro Tonali had signed an extra year. Obviously when his ban was in play. Now we had Keith Downey on, as you know, Daz, and we were talking about what impact does this have at Newcastle? Is this obviously not is it good news? Obviously it's great news that he's got a contract now to 2030. But in your opinion, Will this put the rumours to bed? Does Sandro still need a new deal? Does he still need that new pay rise with a bumper new contract? Like, what does that extra year to 2030 do for you, other than protect the club? And is Sandro still high on your list in terms of getting a new contract?
Yeah, look, Sandro comes across as loving the club. He's just recently got married. They expect him as well. So, like, you'd hope he's settled in Newcastle. He's loving his football. He'll get to go to the World Cup as well. I presume Italy are going to qualify. They're probably up there if they haven't qualified already. So he'll get to go to the World Cup after being out of contention at the Euros that time. Yeah, like, it is great to hear that he got that extension. None of us knew about it, and even though they talk, when you hear it being mentioned in the commentary and games to say a new contract, but it wasn't a new contract; it was an extension. Probably, I can't see it wouldn't happen just yet. An actual another new contract, but then again, he's probably on the same money in that extension. So, if you wanted to really, really nail him down, keep him extra happy. Yeah, maybe that's what you do. Because, like, you could see that the likes of Real Madrid or someone trying to go for him, and it's difficult then to try and keep him at Newcastle. But he just seems to love it. We're playing for Eddie Howe.
Yeah. No, I agree, mate. I agree. Pete, do you know what? I've got one more. Just one very, very quick one, Pete. And it's I wanted to quickly touch on it because I always struggle with this. Afaramas says, not to be a downer, and we always like to show both sides here on Loads of Mag and UFC. We're not. I know we've got our black and white glasses on, but we always like to show, if people want us to talk about things that maybe didn't go so well, or maybe, share their opinion on things that they're maybe a bit concerned about. We always like to bring these up. And Afaramas says, not to be a downer, but I'm a little bit unsure about Ramsey. I feel like he's not quite up to speed, that Newcastle United play at. Felt he slowed down too many moves tonight. Early days, though, needs time. Now, like, for me, Pete, I was actually quite impressed with Ramsey. I thought he looked incredibly comfortable on the ball. He's clearly a very good technician. I think you can see that. And he brings a lot to this midfield. But, what do you think there of Afaramas' comments? Are you surprised maybe he's not looking like he's up to speed, given that he's still obviously very new to the team and obviously he's just returning back from injury? What are your thoughts on what Afaramas says there? And also, how did you think Ramsey played this evening?
Yeah, I respect everyone's opinion, but I think we were watching two different games tonight. If I'm going to be honest with you, I thought Jacob Ramsey was brilliant. I thought he was really, really good. I've been really impressed with Jacob Ramsey since he come back from his injury. I thought he was absolutely superb against Benfica. I was surprised he wasn't in the starting lineup against Fulham, but I thought he was brilliant again today. I really did think he was good. Look, he's not a Joe Linton. He's a different mold. I love how technically gifted he is. He continues to keep possession and pushes up the pitch so well. He makes forward runs and gets into dangerous positions. He's already built up a relationship on that left-hand side with the likes of Barnes, with the likes of Gordon already, and in particular Dan Burn. His protection of the defence in Dan Burn in counter-attacks the other way, I thought was excellent. I think he really understands his position as that midfielder, and he's not one of those that's going to stand out and be that star player. But what he does is very, very good and absolutely crucial to the team. I really like him. I really, really like him as a player, and I genuinely think that that'll be another one for this Sunday, because I think there's a genuine argument that Jacob Ramsey should be starting again for Newcastle United on Sunday. And I don't think, as much as we love Joe Linton, I don't think Joe Linton's position as a first team guaranteed starter is a conversation anymore. I genuinely don't see that. I see Jacob Ramsey as someone that is absolutely pushing Joe Linton for a start in this midfield three. I thought he was brilliant. So Jacob Ramsey, and bearing in mind he's not had a lot of football, granted, but the minutes that he's now playing at the moment are very, very good. I've been really impressed with him. And look, we will manage him, we will look after him, and we will make sure that, you know, there isn't another injury down the road. But the longer he continues to keep playing for Newcastle United, the better he's going to get. And I don't think it's too long before we see Ramsey get on the score sheet. He's getting into the right areas. He's getting opportunities. He had one in the first half, which was defended really, really well. But I don't think it's long before he puts the ball in the back of the net for Newcastle United. So, yeah, I'm not concerned whatsoever with Ramsey. And I'm quite opposite to the guy that asked the question. I thought he was brilliant tonight.
No, thank you for that. And that, boys, that is all the comments done, or the questions, should I say, all the questions done. For everybody who's been writing comments for the past, half an hour, maybe a bit more, I do apologise, obviously, because we're focusing on the star questions and the super chats. We do have a little chunk of time where we miss some comments, so apologies for that. But a big, massive thank you to everyone for your questions, comments, your super chats. And as always, boys, we always like to remind everyone, don't we, if you're new to the show, if you've only just tuned in, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing. If you subscribe, you can then come into the chat and you can, get involved with our super chat. We've got a fantastic fan base within the Loaded Mag chat, and really friendly environment here at Loaded Mag. So please, if you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. And obviously, thank you for watching, and please hit that like button. Don't forget the hype button, or Pete will be after you.
Can I just say really quickly, there was someone in the chat earlier on, after we'd spoken about the hype, that they had a look on their PC and it wasn't there wasn't an option to scroll. The hype button, if I'm right in thinking, is only available after the show finishes.
Yes, sorry, that's right.
So when the show finishes, for people that are watching afterwards, or for people that are watching live now, after the show finishes is when the hype button becomes available. So once the show is locked down, go back in to the show via the channel on YouTube, and it should be there as a hype button option.
Brilliant.
Nice one. That's something I have to find myself now tomorrow. Is that hype button? But that's it. That is your show. That was your reaction to our victory over Spurs in the League Cup. We're on to the quarterfinal and who will play Fulham. But we are back tomorrow, as we've mentioned. We're back for away days at 8 p.m. with Mr. Lawless. Let's see what he's got to say. That's it. See you in the next one. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night.
Come on.
Each and every single day, I know I'm gonna have to eventually